global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello guys, welcome to Global Happenings. Today we have a trending news for you, and the headline reads, Presidency defies Nigerians as Chinese doctors arrive to treat CCECC workers. Nigerians react. See details. But before we go into the newspaper and further analysis, we would like you to subscribe to our channels by clicking on the red subscribe button below. Beside it, you will see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as next update our channel. Please don't forget to like and share our videos as time goes on. Okay, let's go straight into the news of the day. It's no longer news that the virus threatening people's life across the globe is originating from Wuhan, China. It is news everywhere. Everyone hears and knows about, even the toddlers. Even the fact that the virus came from China has led the President of the United States of America, President Donald Trump, to call it Chinese virus instead of its popular name, coronavirus or COVID-19, which sparked controversy all over the world, where some people are seeing it as nothing but pure truth, and some see this as nothing but racism, while some still find it hilarious. Talking about the matter on ground, and that is the arrival of the Chinese doctors to treat CCECC workers. Nigerians are clearly not in support of the federal government's decision on inviting the Chinese doctors into the country, and this is clearly seen in their reactions on social media after the news reached them. In the reactions, you smell fear of the virus being rapidly spread in the country as the government invited the first people to get infected with it. Here it goes. Oh, this is really serious. More people will die of this virus. Nigerians are beginning to react on the social media handle. Oh dear Jesus. So more death is incoming. Child, God save us. So I am comfortable with this Chinese doctor of a thing. Even Buhari didn't go to China for treatment. He went to UK. Why not invite UK doctors for their citizens? I'm not comfortable. Okay, what he meant was I'm not comfortable with the Chinese doctor. I guess he didn't write it well. So it's Nigeria, my country. Why? Oh dear, Nigerians are really panicking. This is we are the real problem. They are coming to treat top politicians. They don't treat our doctors, forgetting that the virus might be brought in to kill us all. Are you sure they are just here to treat CCECC workers? Okay, if anything happens other than what we know, I hope the government will take responsibility. I don't think government will take any responsibility. So he is saying they should send them back because their work is not needed in Nigeria. We have the best and qualified doctors who can battle the coronavirus, Chinese virus, she says. This one said, I prefer the Cuban doctors instead. These Chinese guys are fishy. This one here is saying, my people perish because of lack of knowledge. This one here says, Buhari have sold Nigerians for peanuts. The arrival of Chinese spelled doom to Nigerians. God used French doctors on air to caution Nigerians about the impending dangers. The plans to use Nigerians as lab rats. But we didn't listen. We did not listen. Ignorant plus Nigeria equals to 0. Think twice. Oh, Nigeria is not an equation that people use to gauge ignorance. They now use Nigeria as an equation to, oh God, who would deliver us from this clueless government we have in Nigeria? Oh God. This is, are they normal? Now there be that now. Everybody is panicking online. I tell you, every respondent you're seeing are panicking. There's panic in the ground. Nigerians responded they don't want Chinese doctors. And yet still our government went ahead and imported Chinese doctors. There are doctors everywhere, Cuban doctors. Femi Falana, the other time, some 2-3 weeks, instructed the government that if you need help, if you feel our doctors are not capable, you can call on the Cuban doctors. I could still remember Italy and so on invited the Cuban doctors to look into the matter. If they feel that doctors are not comfortable, which I feel they're doing fine, despite the fact that it has been increasing, but they have been doing their job. They've been on ground to do 1 or 2 things, and they are making things happen. You would have even go for, even if it's UK doctors, even if Cuban doctors are a bit better. Why Chinese, for crying out loud? Despite the fact that everyone won, Dino Malayo won, Femi Falana won, Nnamdi Kanu won, Nigerians lent their voice on social media. That's to tell you that electorates do not count in this country. How can you say no going back? Despite the fact that Femi Gbajamamila, I'm talking about the greenhouse chamber, senator of the greenhouse chamber, he went ahead and said if they will come on one condition, I doubt if they will follow those protocols. Nigeria is... God, how did we get to this level? How did we get to this level where our voice don't count? Normally, in this kind of things, you actually ask the stakeholders, who the stakeholders meeting, feel the pulse of the people, find out what they want, find out if they meet them halfway, not totally going all out and seeking for Chinese. If you feel that our doctors are not doing fine, worst case scenario, you would have been a case of, okay, let's invite the Cuban doctors, but let it not just be Nigerian doctors. But you going on, despite the fact that Nigerians said no vehemently, no Nigerians supported this whole idea, and they still went ahead to do it. Okay, I was privileged to have a video. The video is, I'm so sure that YouTube will not allow it because it's very, very graphic. Do you know that one of the investigative journalists in China was just a week ago? It's actually classified information. A week ago was killed. Why? Because he was in one of the quarantine buildings in Wuhan. Do you know that actually China has not totally cleared off their patients who are positive to coronavirus? You needed to see the way they are cramped into that building, very massive hall, and they're all corona positive. Their doctors wear their protective equipment as if they're alien dropping from space, from their head to their boots. You can't even see the human being behind the mask because they were fully protected with their personal protective kit equipment, all going in. And the investigative journalist who eventually was killed by one of them, who found out that the man was eventually always uploading videos using different IP address to upload videos, warning the whole world that the Wuhan, the coronavirus they're talking about is still existent in Wuhan, but they have decided to take all patients into a quarantine room, into a quarantine hall building, and outside is so quiet you won't even know there are people. Each time they test anyone and the person is positive, they throw the person in there. People are dying every day in that place. As soon as they die, they'll just put you into this clothes for dead people. And all manner is dead. They are crammed up. And the journalists were saying, look, don't let Chinese deceive you. We still have a great number of cases in Wuhan, China. It has not been cleared. Whatever information you're seeing there is misinformation. I don't know how they got to know, because at some point they were like, how come these informations are finding their way into the internet? They tried to bring the information down, but somehow after uploading it on the internet, he finds a way of giving it to some of his colleagues who throw it into some of these big newspaper forum, and who are also very careful not to because it's always classified information. Eventually they found out that he was the one. It took them like a month. It took them like 3 weeks to got to know who exactly, because they were trailing him. They were trying to find an IP address. He was always changing the IP address until finally got hold of him. They killed him. In fact, the last video he uploaded was the one they shot him, and we didn't get to see those who shot him because he too couldn't see their faces. They were all masked, and that was how he died. And that's to tell you that even the so-called Chinese are not totally on top of their game. So whatever they are bringing in, Nigerians are truly in trouble. I tell you. We don't look at things on face value. Who knows? All this issue of $22.7 billion that we're looking for as loan, who knows if there's some sort of rebate, moratorium here that is making our government not to hear the voices of the masses. For crying out loud, how can we be so deaf and dumb? How can we be so naive in situations like this? What other voice, what other warnings do you need to hear? Donald Trump practically called it a Chinese virus, and yet still we are not proactive enough. Let's still continue and see the post of Nigerians over this. Honestly, Nigerians are reacting and they're not finding it funny. I'll take one or two more because the reactions are huge. About 10,000 people have spoken at the same time. It's crazy and it's still pouring in. This one here said the arrival of the real coronavirus. Let's brace ourselves. More deaths incoming. The spread will be rapid. Have you seen Nigerians are saying the same thing? It's pathetic. It's annoying. It's disgusting that we have governments who are not on top of their job. They are mesmerized. They're clueless, and they're getting me all worked up because this time around, I pray, God help me, I pray that our case will not be like that of the Italians. that they were dying in their quantum, because this is the real deal. The real deal has just arrived. All those ones that they say, I'm corona positive, and after 5 days, I recovered. This is the real deal, man. Now we have what we call the coronavirus. They were pressuring. They really pressured. They wanted to come to Nigeria. And finally, our government caved in, giving flimsy excuse why they should come in. Despite the fact that Nigerians, there was an outcry saying, please do not bring them in. This one here, let's go back to the online respondent. This one here say, all those shouting, say, Baba, he don't come, oh. Chinese people that created the virus is what these useless politicians are bringing in. God have mercy on us. This one said, don't even finish treating that. They didn't even finish treating their own country. They brought the same virus, because in this world, no one is really trusted. We are all saying the same thing. But here, let's feel the pulse of one or two people around here. This one here is saying, if they were coming for the CCECC works, they would have chartered the plane for them and take them back to China and treat them there. Or what do you think? That's true. Why not take those people down there and take them to China and let them remain there and quarantine them? But why bring them into the country? For crying out loud, how naive, how dumb can we be? How dumb can our leaders be? Putting all Nigerians, endangering all Nigerians for how much? Our lives worth peanuts to them. How much is it worth? For crying out loud. Nigerians said no, even if it is true, even if it is real, they should have just heeded the cry of Nigerians first. And later on, if the coast is clear, even the Americans are wary of the Chinese doctors. How come Nigerians, with all our low level of technology, we accept, even if they bring the vaccine, how do we know that it's not laced with the coronavirus itself? We have little or no technology here to identify. They have the technology, they will tell it is not, and we believe hook, line, and sinker. God help us. This is a please, let's reason together. Someone created a disease, infected his own people with it in an area where they have less important people to them. The whole world is shouting China. Even unborn children know. Yet Nigeria still went ahead to sign a deal with them to come and treat indigents. Everything is wrong about this issue. Are you sure we have a government in this nation? Good question. Honestly, good question. Is that not the same question Mazinan they kind of keep shouting? Rigid. People call him that he's a fool. Why is he calling Nigeria a zoo? Is this not how zoos behave? Is this not how zoo leaders always behave? They don't take cognizance of their people. This is it. This one is everybody's matter. Hey, this is not a Biafran issue. This is a national issue. Hey, Nigerians, and that's everybody's reacting. Nobody's remembering Biafra again. Nobody's talking about it. Everyone is like, Corona. A government that does not listen to the voice of the people, is that one a government? A government whose electorate does not have a voice and does not have a power, is that one democracy? We have entered one chance. Say, Baba, all those who voted in, enjoy this change. All of us. I pray that before this whole thing will finish, let those who shall say, Baba. A few days ago, one of the northern state governors lifted up a ban on Friday that all Fridays they should be having mosque meeting, as in Islamic people should meet for their mosque meeting. Keep gathering. It has come. The real deal has come. Let's see how we face it. This one here is saying, since the government has given the permission, now they will be able to carry out their research and experiment on us to know why Africans are not dying from this virus. I said this is one of the conspiracy. Let's spread the word. It's time for revolution. We need to bring back our Nigeria. How do we start? Nigerians don't know how to protest on the street. We are e-warriors. We go online, we rant, we shout, we don't go out there. The only two people who tried it, one, Sowore is already battling for his freedom. Adeyanju that tried it, after they finished kicking him, has he ever come out again? In fact, he said openly in the social media handle that Nigeria is not worth dying for. So the two people who try coming out publicly and openly to protest real life on time, they were dealt with. So what Nigerians do, we do e-warrior things, and that's why they don't take our words serious. See it, hey, lab rat. They want that no African should be taken as a lab rat, but our own government went and brought them in. So whose fault is it? WHO out warned that China or any other country should never make Africa their guinea pig lab rat or guinea pig research lab research specimen. They even want for that to say if they ever see, they talked all manner, say this is a colonialism spirit mentality and all that. But this one, is it their fault? Our government said, come, you people, come, bring it in. Will you blame Chinese? No, you won't. Will we blame our government for this? This one here say this is happening because the citizens are too weak to challenge the government. Nobody can talk. It's only on social media we do the talking and noises while things are happening in real life. I just said the same thing. So this other person is saying the same thing. I don't know what's going to happen to us. Honestly, I feel for this nation, Nigeria. Just fairly recently, in fact, this morning, I was privileged to see a video where someone won in French. I don't understand French. I had to get an interpreter who told us that already in Senegal, the vaccine has been given to little children. That 7 of them were injected with the vaccine and they died on the spot. There is an uproar, protest, heavy protest going on that they don't want the vaccine. They've already brought it in, like, you know, when you want to do immunization for your little child, they brought it in and it's happening, going on as we speak. This is how much I can take. What do you think about the fact that the government have defied Nigerians and they have brought in Chinese doctors? Who knows? Maybe it is laden with the virus.